Hello everyone! Welcome back to the My Hero Academia Season 6 reaction. Watching episode 17 today. Before we begin, make sure description below. Check out my Patreon, Discord, Instagram, and all the good stuff.
What's on Patreon?
On Patreon, it's for £1. You get early access reactions to Pokemon and Boruto episodes, as well as shoutouts in the description of every video. You can also get things like early access to other shows as well, like this one and Dragon Ball. So check it out. What happened last time on My Hero? The world is in chaos.
Yeah, we were getting more backstory on Todoroki's family.
Well, as Hawks, mostly.
Oh, there was Hawks. I
Yeah.
forgot about Hawks. I feel like it's a weird time to get backstory on Hawks. I spent this whole time not really caring about him. It's like, it's too late now.
It's like, here's some backstory. You're like, oh, now? Should have got backstory like ages ago on him.
Although at the end, didn't Todoroki's mum turn up?
Showed up. And then we need to talk about her son.
Oh yeah, because Hawks was all like, his kind of hero was Endeavor.
Mm-hmm. He knew
Endeavor's in a bad way. Mentally and physically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're there to talk about their son and what they need to do about him.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's begin.
I never expected such an offer. Fortune has truly smiled upon us.
We will marry my daughter to you.
Has enjoyed a long and celebrated history, which makes my daughter the perfect match for a man of your status. A top tier.
But I don't love him.
Needs a fitting bride.
On the surface, our union seemed like any arranged marriage, but I had an ulterior motive.
To build a child.
My goal was simple: to produce the strongest child possible. They craved the status associated with the number 2 hero, and my money. Which is probably why her father quickly agreed to my proposition.
Wow.
I like how he has a fire tie.
He had the option to refuse.
He lives his life. Just that is his whole life.
Is this fire?
Do you like the flowers?
Yes, they're quite beautiful.
There was a strength to her, but still.
I mean, they could have gotten to know each other. You know, maybe they would have actually been a match.
In what world would I be? That's why I've come here.
Fair
I'm the
enough.
only one suffering. Because you're not the only one who overlooked our child.
Knowing how tough my father is, I doubt he'll die from whatever injuries he racked up. Even if he wanted to. The number 1 hero can't die unceremoniously on the battlefield. I bet he'll do a press conference soon. Can't wait to see his pathetic face. After so long, I get to watch him break.
No, his family will bring him strength.
To you, me, when you're crying in hell, be sure and wave.
He's crying blood. I don't think he's very well.
No.
I've told you already. This time off is for your own good. I have to go.
You fail me, child.
Your son inherited a strong version of your flame quirk, that's true. But unfortunately, his body appears to have taken after his mother. In other words, he's physically built to tolerate freezing temperatures far better than heat. And in terms of designer babies, look, the whole concept is taboo. I suggest you stop pursuing it.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Exactly.
Good doctor.
Right? Good advice.
Try to keep him from doing so.
Toya.
He's a child, not an experiment.
And then he's like, but him, he's like, it's a failed,
You should have been the best.
He was obsessed.
failed child.
How did this happen?
Why do you think Dad won't let me do quirk training anymore? So I got some dumb burns. Big deal. I'm more than tough enough to take that. I know my body better than anyone, and I say I'm totally fine. I agree with that. I don't like it when you come home looking hurt. Really? It was stupid to think you'd get it. No girl would understand this. I'm worried about you, right?
He had his dad's like ambition built into him.
The top hero.
That's too much. It's downright cruel. Tell him anything else. He already knows what you want from your children. Just let him have hope.
No matter what I say to him, he shows up at the house with new injuries every day. He has to know. He can't beat All Might.
He has to know he's a failed baby.
He could be strong in his own way. He could find his own way to be strong.
Right? But they're saying he can't use his quirk at all, really, because he
'Cause
burns
he's-
himself.
Yeah.
Oh, and they kept having babies to replace you.
Mm.
You're just a replacement. Like, you're just a nothing now.
It was almost like he was too much of a good hero. He made people angry by being too good.
Right. And there's his perfect creation. The perfect one. And you are gone now.
I've been practicing this entire time. I know I can do it. I'll surpass all my...
See, he became obsessed too.
So he didn't have the ice powers,
He had
but
this,
his body was built
like his
for
mom.
ice.
Yeah.
Have you learned nothing from getting burned?
He could handle freezing temperatures a bit better, but not fire.
Find a new dream to pursue. Go play with Fuyumi and Natsuo. Make friends at school and do stuff with them. There are plenty of things to do when
Because
you're
that baby there, with the little face, that's my baby.
Will go behind you.
But the kids at school say they're gonna be pros one day.
You can be too.
They don't get
I'm sure you could find a way.
But you do. You showed me being the best is what matters.
Oh.
Toya, no, you have to push me to want this, Dad. It's too late now. Can't unlearn what you taught me.
He was a strong-willed child.
Very strong-willed.
You'll see.
He just wanted to make his dad proud. He's like, I have to.
Endeavor!
He's gonna hurt him.
Shoto isn't allowed anywhere near the other children.
Uh,
I have work. I can't watch him all the time. But that's why we have the help. You don't let Toya out of your sight.
So that's it. You're running away.
Yours! Got it! Hurt?
Ignore them, Shoto. They live in a different world than the one I'm training you for.
Shoto isn't the one I should blame. Dad's the person who messed up everything.
Mm-hmm.
We're failures to him, so he pretends we don't even exist. That's just how it works. Not like he's all that different. Lots of heroes have kids that they don't want.
You've already told me this like a million times. Why don't you go bother Fuyumi instead?
No, hold on. Are you ignoring me too, Natsu? Please don't do that. I'm telling you this stuff because you have to understand.
It's too deep.
Right? Besides, the women in our family are all useless.
They're all just
Are
kids.
you planning to go to the mountain again? Tell me. Do you really want to become a hero?
Because right now you're being a villain.
Because from what I see, it looks like you're suffering simply because you want to please your father. Son, there are many different paths in life. You have countless opportunities. Don't spend your life chasing someone else's dream. I want you to find something you're actually passionate about.
Shut up, Mom! You don't know anything! This from one of your self-help books or something? I know Grandma and Grandpa were poor. That's why they sold you, right? You
Oh.
had no choice in what your life would be
he was
like.
too clever, that kid.
Yeah.
But you did decide to have me. So you're to blame for this too.
He knew too much. I mean, kids really listen, to everything that's going around them.
Wouldn't go out. When I hit puberty, things changed. Then my flames suddenly transformed from red to blue.
They became stronger.
I see. They're like extensions of my body. Ugh, damn it. No crime. Why do I always tear up when things go my way? Dad, your next day off, you gotta come to Decoteau Peak.
I
You're
mean,
still
he doesn't-
training.
Oh, he is burned. I was gonna say he doesn't look burned.
He's hiding beneath his clothing now. Toya, you're still training?
And I've gotten super awesome. Make sure you come watch.
I think they needed a way to try and figure out how he could, use it without
Without hurting himself.
I guess then you'd have to accept that I'm not actually a failure like you thought. After all these years, you'll be
Like maybe
happy.
wearing some gear or something. Ooh.
I asked you to do one thing! Just stop him from training!
I won't let you beat me to mommy! Stop it! You're being the
Get out of here, Shoto! This has nothing to do with you!
Oh, that was Shoto?
Yeah.
Shut up, Mom! You don't know anything!
But I chose to marry you of my own free will.
It's like the fact that he's like beating his wife and stuff too in front of the children.
Mm.
Smile on my face. I tried my best. He wouldn't listen.
He's your problem now! You deal with this!
It's like it's his kid too.
Use for once.
What do you see when you glare at me like that? Please don't look at me. With those horrible eyes. Those eyes.
And that's when she burned him. Because she snapped.
You didn't go to Sekotor Peak like he asked.
I was afraid if I did, it would feed a fire that was already out of control.
You needed to help tame the fire.
Yeah. Only you could tame that fire.
How to be Toya's father.
Oh gosh.
He burned. That's why he
Oh,
can't
that's
cry.
why he's got the.
He burned himself alive. He burned himself alive. He lost like his jaw and parts of his body.
I'd just given everything up that day.
And whenever I looked at my children, it was your eyes I saw staring back at me.
Even though I knew we were falling apart, I was too scared to get to the bottom of our pain. So I tried to keep up appearances, ignoring the truth.
You're the one who put us on this path, and I know you're to blame. But if I'd been able to knock some sense into Toya before he ran off to the mountain...
It wasn't your guys' job.
No, they were just kids. They didn't understand what was going on.
Your heart may be broken.
They're saying it was all collective.
Yeah, it was.
A family.
It's something that all of them needed to do.
To fight Dabi one day. SHOUTOUT must have suffered so much more than we did. But he still started calling me mom again, even though he has every right.
He's the only one who healed. Well, only because of Deku.
Anyway, hi. And he's protected each of us, likely more than we know. He is the true hero in this family.
Before coming in here, I had a long talk with Mom that I would have to face Dabi myself. That's not the case, though. So whenever you're done crying, you and I will work to stop Toya together.
As father and son.
SHOUTOUT.
Pardon us.
Bad
Listening
time.
into your convo, and since we're in the loop, mind if we join your weird family reunion?
Your weird
I was
family.
discharged from the hospital yesterday and already gathered a bunch of info about what's going
I
on.
am deeply ashamed and apologize for my son's actions.
Huh? That's definitely not the reason we're here. Seriously, please stop, ma'am.
What answers about Dabi?
This didn't come up when you were talking about Toya, but are you to blame for the burn on Shoto's face as well?
So close.
No,
That was me.
that was her.
Mom, you...
I see.
I never got to confront my parents. And instead I abandoned them. But you stood your ground.
Shoto, you're a heck of a kid.
Yeah, because he could easily just ignored his parents and left
Mhm.
them.
The world is going to pieces. In addition to Tartarus, 6 other prisons were broken into. At least 10,000 prisoners have been released into the wild.
10,000
Mayhem and panic.
villains.
There's also no agency calling the shots for us. Not that there are a ton of heroes left to organize. Pros are resigning left and right.
Mhm.
They were all that's left,
They've
basically.
lost faith in our ability to protect the streets, so they're taking up arms and fighting villains themselves. Currently, the government is requesting aid in the form of rescue teams and heroes from other countries.
Okay,
With the Safety Commission in shambles, bureaucracy is getting in the way.
but they have their
That guy
own.
looks like the Flash.
I'm sure they have their own problems though. They're going to be spreading too thin.
And I second what your wife said. Responsibility for this can't be put on your shoulders alone. And it's not your family's fault either.
You would help me.
Even if Dabi was right about the Todoroki family, things are different now.
Oh,
I want to do
His wings are growing back.
and support people who are trying their best to do the same.
Yep, we propose a little team up between the top 3 heroes.
I've already bet my life on Hawks once.
are they the top 3 now?
Yeah, they're all that's left, really.
Look at who's standing in front of you.
We'll help you, just till we stop Toya.
Then you're on your own again.
I've given some thought to how we might go about responding.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do a press
There's still
conference.
A little confusion. What do you know about One for All?
Oh yeah, a reporter mentioned that too.
Oh.
While he was fighting Shigaraki, Endeavor mentioned something called One for All.
factors into the puzzle.
Ooh,
They're gonna have to tell the truth.
the secret is out.
It's highly possible that I'm the one Shigaraki's after.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, the people who need to know need to know.
Are there any updates on Midoriya's recovery yet?
He's still in a
He
coma,
said his body is fine.
but it's his mind.
Was he achieving the ball guy?
Great explosion, murder god, dynamite. Are you alright?
Look like!
Wow.
We'd like a few words with Izuku Midoriya.
He's not awake.
All Might said to leave the two of them alone.
He did, huh?
All Might.
Shigaraki was after Midoriya, and All Might is clearly involved somehow.
Yeah.
People are starting.
They're
to
starting.
piece it
They're starting to
together.
know that there's something weird.
It was gonna happen eventually.
The vestige of me that lives within One for All. Inside you. Right now, you must be talking with the previous wielders.
Well, there you go. An episode of My Hero.
Well, I feel like we have a pretty rounded story of the Todoroki family now.
Yeah, we've gotten to see everything we need to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything left to explore. It's
No.
all like, this is everything that's happened. The whole story is there.
Mm-hmm.
Now where do we go from here in terms of like
Yeah.
fixing it?
It's a pretty good story. I like it as a backstory.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what a lot of characters lack. in My Hero, a good backstory.
A good, thought out backstory. Yeah, that's why Todoroki's always my favorite character.
Yeah, that's
'cause
why
he
he's my
has
mine.
the
It's
the
like
best.
they said, like, you know, he's actually overcome stuff. And
Yeah.
he's
Despite
chosen
this,
to forgive people.
because even Hawks is
and-
like, I abandoned my parents.
Mhm.
He's like, you stuck by them even despite all of this.
Mhm.
But it's only because he started healing after Deku woke him up and said,
Yeah.
like, it's your quirk, not his, and it made him realize I could choose my own path.
Mhm.
It
It was sad for Toya. Was it Toya?
is the Dabi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dabi. It's sad for him because you don't see many people with a quirk that they really can't use. at
Yeah,
all.
because almost like they have, like Deku, for instance, you couldn't use his quirk. It was a way of trying to find out how you can go about using it differently.
Mhm.
Or Lemillion. There's a story about Lemillion couldn't really use his quirk in an effective way because when he goes through things, he also can't breathe and he can't see.
Mm.
He can't do anything.
Mhm.
But he was able to train himself in a certain way to use it effectively and made it an effective weapon.
I'm sure somehow
There should have been something that he could have done
with
training.
some sort of tool or some sort of training that they could have found something.
Yeah.
Because he has that ice side to him.
Yeah,
So there might have
well,
been a way he could have maybe
It was
used
like
that.
they said he has his dad's firepower,
Mhm.
but his mom's
Body.
body.
Mhm.
And it's like the body is like a normal body. It can resist ice temperatures,
Mm.
but he's not using ice temperatures. He's
Mhm.
using hot fire temperatures, so it's almost like it's worse for him.
You can get ice burns. Maybe he could somehow. Yeah. Well, that's sad. It's a sad story.
Yeah, and it's like he had from the very beginning. I think his dad was so like, you must become strong,
Yeah,
you
that
gotta
was
train.
all it was.
And then once he found out he couldn't do it, he just abandoned the idea
Mhm.
completely. But the boy was still
The
like,
boy
"What do
still
you
wanted
mean?
to be a hero.
I need to prove you."
And so
I can do it."
instead of trying to be like, we'll find a way to help you, and
He just
help
abandoned
you
him
become
completely.
A hero, he became a villain.
We're focusing on this kid instead.
Mhm.
And to the point to where, he was getting so far gone, he was beating his wife
Yeah.
in front of the kids and like yelling at her, "You're useless," and blah. He became a villain,
Mhm,
really.
mhm.
Like he could have been the number 2 hero. He was not a hero at all,
Not
like
to
whatsoever.
family.
No.
No.
And that's what the problem is with the public now, is they see that heroes are not perfect. There was like this idea that heroes were perfect.
They would solve everything. and-
They were like
yeah.
pure hearted and heroic, and they come to save us. And it's like they were people who had dark sides to them
Yeah,
as
we
well.
all have our own issues.
And now that it's out in the public, they don't like Endeavor anymore. I mean, they really did to begin with. Now it's even worse.
I was thinking when I was seeing like the fire, like he has such like a fiery personality and stuff. I was thinking it kind of feels like the quirks. I don't know which way around it is, but either maybe their personality kind of influences their quirk, or the other way around, because they always seem to like a lot of them have the same kind of personality as whatever their quirk ends up being.
Yeah.
like Bakugo has a very fiery
Explosive,
personality as
anger,
well.
yeah.
Whereas Todoroki's actually quite balanced. So he's got like a balanced quirk between fire and ice and stuff.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
Especially with like Mushroom Girl has a mushroom. She likes mushrooms. It's like
They all seem to like the thing
that they are.
Like the Jean guy
Loves
just
jeans.
constantly talks about jeans. I feel like if I had everything to do with jeans, I'd kind of grow to hate them. I don't wear anything but.
Yeah, and also how your emotions can influence your powers as well, because he was saying like
he said
the more excited I get, the more powerful my flames get.
Yeah, and after puberty change, like, and his emotions.
Yeah, it got stronger.
It got
the why he combusted and almost died, he set himself on fire, was when he was feeling really deep emotions.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop. He's like, stop, go out, it's too hot. And he lost control because of his emotions. I mean, the first thing to burn was tear ducts, because he was always crying all the time. And then he lost those.
Yeah.
It's a very dark backstory. I think the story needs more stuff like this.
Yeah.
And less of the kidsy stuff. And
they're starting to figure out Midoriya now.
Yeah.
Secrets out.
What did he mean by one for all? Like, we need to find out what one for all means. It's definitely important to Shigaraki, so we need to find out what that is. And then he's like, Deku. Like, he was, Deku
and they're
was
like, Deku?
But then when he was going
and
there,
then they're like
All Might's with him. He's like, All Might,
huh? Really?
he's involved as well, huh? Yeah, they're gonna have to know. It's the only way. Like, there's no way they can avoid people finding out now.
Yeah. I mean, considering the bad guys already know, it's not even a bad thing for the good. Like, the good guys can know, you know. It's not like you're trying to keep the secret from the bad guys.
It's almost like if they find out it can be passed on. It's like, will the good guys then be like, you know, we should give it to somebody who's more capable? You know?
Yeah.
Things like that can start to become an issue.
They start tearing his hair out,
feeding
him,
eating his hair. But otherwise, did you enjoy?
Yeah.
I enjoyed as well. Hopefully everyone else did. Like and subscribe if you did. And as always, have a great one. But without a quirk, it starts out empty. And then it's able to be full.
Well, that's good news for Deku. They could start with that.
Yeah, because at first it's like, wait, I'm gonna die?